Welcome to
the Safety Third podcast, and he is your host, William Osman.
Yes. We're all hosts, even the guests are hosts. This is a very, very special edition.
He says this every time, but it's really true this time.
This is different.
I'm on
This
it.
is the third time that Nigel has bailed on recording.
Exactly. This is more than just a guest on the podcast. This is a lifesaver on the podcast. He's keeping the podcast alive at this point.
So I figure we should definitely, this podcast, bully him without him here and explain that we try to get Nigel because everybody wants more Nigel for whatever weird reason, and then Nigel denies the audience that. So who goes to a doctor's appointment at 7:30 at night?
Yeah, it's pretty. We can just use the AI at this point. We don't even need him.
We can.
Yeah.
I thought about doing that.
We should get Nile Green back on the podcast. As
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So instead, we brought on Jake Laser. It's a Bond villain.
That is.
And I
was the last minute invite.
I think last minute invite.
Yes.
This is shows you how organized this podcast is.
Yes.
That's your real name.
It is my real name. Yeah.
And I still think that is so funny.
I know.
I know. I would have thought that was like a.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem real, but like it's like Norwegian or something. I think it's like pronounced Laser, but like
Lesser.
Yeah, Laser or something.
Like,
but
it's like,
come on.
Your YouTube channel name is Jake Laser, and that just sounds like a name that somebody would have given their YouTube channel.
Yep.
Yeah, I came up with it when I was 13, so it could have been worse, honestly.
And you've been making videos for a long ass time,
really long time,
and we, I figure we should put all the cards on the table. You already know this. We definitely used to make fun of you.
Oh, I'm aware. Alan filled me in. Yeah, you guys were bullying a 16-year-old, so
we bullied a 16. We didn't know because you're so masculine and manly. We didn't know you were a 16-year-old kid. I think actually what happened is I remember Peter got butthurt. Because you did a really similar project to him.
Yeah, I did.
And I think you used similar music. I think did you use the same song or something?
I might have. You know what? I might have. Like it might have been just a blatant ripoff, but
But that's fine because
I feel bad.
Peter has been on this podcast
at this point.
Less
It's like
than you now.
Yeah, if you have less subscribers and you're like under him, it doesn't matter.
I know.
That's kind of how I see it.
Exactly. I just had someone rip my video like
and if you do it better
scene
than
for
Peter,
scene,
too.
I didn't do it better than Peter. But
which video?
I don't even remember what video it was.
Yeah, it was underwater propeller fist.
Piston.
But
okay.
The Spider-Man wall climbing video. Someone Eric, Eric?
Yeah. Oh,
he ripped it completely.
Wait.
Look it up. Look it up.
Channel?
That's Eric.
Did he actually?
He ripped it completely.
How do you spell that?
No.
Yeah.
No. Did he actually?
Yeah, he did. And but I mean, like, I don't really care. Like, there's a lot of comments saying like, Jay Laser already did this, but.
Wait,
what's the name of the channel? I can't.
Kevin's lost.
You're gonna have to spell it out for me.
I honestly don't know.
For the viewers.
Yeah. He used those Grabo suction things and like same title, same basic thumbnail, same like everything. Like telling him about it.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
I know.
Because he hit me up like a year ago to help him with a project, and I just like he's like a hustler.
He is. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, he's grinding. Yeah.
I was like, all right, this guy's like working. I'll help him because he was a smaller channel at the time, and we like helped him build this pizza car. And it kind of makes me sad to see this. That sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm just gonna be mad if it does better.
Cool, and you're gonna say it doesn't bother you, but this kind of stuff bothers me because it kind of like
I know.
You can see like the only reason someone does this is because they're just trying to get views, and that's my least favorite type of person on YouTube who will like do anything just to get views.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
like this is like I was skipping through this. There's like remnants of like Alan Pan with the Steadicam.
Yeah.
So they're using a Steadicam to make someone stronger, which is just
like
spring-loaded joints.
Yeah.
Alan, that's Alan. Alan has done this like a couple of times.
No,
You
all
did
this stuff's been done.
the
Yeah.
wall climbers.
Yeah.
This is everything I hate about YouTube.
Sorry,
Eric.
I didn't mean to get off on a bad note.
No, this
but...
is what podcasts are for.
All right, ranting. Let's go.
And I again ask, what is the name of this channel?
Will, I don't know how to spell it. What is it? It's called like
AIRRACK.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I was coming up with like Iraq.
Dude, but check the description. Will, check the description.
Does he give you credit at least?
No, but I never helped. He's just trying to make it seem like I didn't copy
he
him.
did the Spider-Man
What?
climbing thing.
Yeah.
That's what
Eric!
you're talking about. Oh my god, it's exactly the same.
Eric, wait. It
Yeah,
says
I know-
thanks to Jake
Yeah, I didn't
Glazer
help.
for helping figure out the climbing behind the scenes.
I didn't.
Eric.
He just wants to
Eric.
make it seem like I helped.
Eric. You can't do that.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I don't know.
No, Eric. This is not fun. This is not collaborative. This is exploitative. Exploitative. Like, he could have worked with you to do it, and it would have been, I think, more respectable. But this is kind of embarrassing, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, his manager did reach out, I think, but we were like pretty busy.
Yeah.
So they tried, but
This is
like, I didn't know they were going to do it to that extent. It was like the same video, you know.
This is depressing. Dude, I like when people do cool stuff, and I like
Yeah.
when people try, and like your video, and you know, this is like why I bring up the fact that we used to make fun of you, because you know, like, it's stupid.
That's
Like,
right.
you do so much cool stuff.
Thank you. I feel,
Yeah.
I'm just,
And-
as long as I'm
and-
in, you know, growing.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to
It's
improve.
a trajectory, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like as of recent, like, you have absolutely knocked it out of the park. You've done
Thank
a
you.
lot
Totally.
of
Thank you.
Like the
um,
past 10 videos, you've got 6-7 of them over 10 million views.
Yes,
It's wild.
that's crazy.
A couple of them, yeah.
Like,
It's,
yeah, you're at your last one's climbing a skyscraper with Spider-Man wall climbing
Yeah.
stuff. It's 10 million views, which if anybody hasn't seen it, is like, I think it's genuinely one of the like kind of better make it real genre. Is the Hacksmiths try to not copyright that, but that's his thing.
yeah,
But,
right. Yeah.
Make it real. I mean, you go,
Hacksmith, we love you. Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, I think like what you did in that video is one of the most genuine, like as close as it gets to real
Yeah.
Spider-Man Gizmo.
Yeah.
It does not, like, doing these make it real videos is really hard because a lot of times it is actually impossible to make whatever was portrayed in a movie
like
that was made with special effects.
lightsabers,
Yes.
Yeah.
arc reactors.
Yeah. And so a lot of people
It's hard.
cheat it. You know,
Yeah.
like James, the Hacksmith is guilty of this, where they just sort of, it's like, it's a lightsaber, but it's a torch. It's like an industrial torch that's, I don't know what they're even
But
made
it is really close. I'll give him that. Like, it's the
It is
closest
close.
one.
But
Yeah.
your Venom one too is kind of the same thing, right? Where it's
Yeah,
like
come
what, like literally, what could you possibly
Yeah.
do?
What else could you do?
Dude, you
The
couldn't have
Spider-Man-
paid me to do that video.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Come on. You don't want to
The
get
Spider-Man-
I'm
all
surprised
oiled
you're
up.
still not stained.
I know. I was stained for like weeks, dude. It was bad.
I remember we dropped on your brand new shoes too when I was using.
Oh,
them.
I know. Yeah. I mean, at least you got it on film and it made it in. So
Yeah.
at least that softened the blow a little bit. But, you know. Yeah.
But like I'm serious though. Like this climbing, like you literally made a thing that is like discreet enough to actually climb a building.
Yeah.
In a manner as similar as you could get to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, it does not get better than this. Like
Thank you.
there is no one who will make something better than this.
And it was compact.
I mean,
it was compact. You
yeah,
you
we'll
could
see.
just wear it on your body. There was
Yeah.
a huge backpack.
What? Yeah. What?
That was
how
that
do
was
you
the
make
cool
it better?
part.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Maybe
Do you
like
make it smaller? Do you put it only on your hands?
a little smaller. You could probably make it a little smaller. You could probably increase like the motor power a little bit, so like stick a little faster. But like,
What do
not
they call
much.
this? Now you're cutting, you're pinching. Like, what's the term for like splitting
like
hairs? Like,
nitpicking, splitting hairs.
Yeah.
You just said. I just said
is, it
it.
split, is that it? Is that what it's called? Like,
Yeah,
what they say,
sure.
splitting hairs, where it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
could
but
get
is
like
it
some
frame rate,
custom made, engineered thing where
Yeah.
like the density of all the components is way higher.
Exactly. Yeah. You could
down.
build. Yeah. This is a prototype. It was honestly like
Yeah.
pretty janky. Like,
But
but other than that, like the
building block
concept.
climbing,
Yeah. What were you saying?
it was rough too, wasn't it? Like
It
wasn't
was.
perfectly
Yeah, it wasn't-
smooth. So that
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah,
think
it was
was
concrete. Yeah, me. Well, I
You
didn't
know?
think it'd work as well as it did. I was actually surprised that I made it up in like
It's
11
the continuous
minutes.
vacuum that makes it work.
Yeah.
Because you just need to beat the leak.
Yeah, exactly. You beat the leak, and I had two of
Gotcha.
them too. So like it was redundancy.
Oh yeah, you had to upgrade
Yeah,
to 2.
I upgraded too. Yeah, and then I could like go on my ceiling too. That was pretty cool.
That was
So
funny.
so
Yeah, that was good.
you made, I think, something that I would consider one of the most original, closest to making it real, like an actual, superhero in
It's
real
high praise.
life that
Thank
I've
you.
seen. And to see somebody just sort of rip it like that bothers me a lot.
Yeah,
It's very like, and you're supposed to be cool about it. You're supposed to be humble, right? Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, whatever. It's just him doing his thing.
yeah, but like it doesn't hurt me at all him doing that.
It doesn't. No,
You know, it
but-
actually might benefit me a little because there might be some leak over from the followers. The only thing that would bother me if it got more attention. That would bother me a little bit.
Well,
But
it's got over 3 million views.
yeah, I know. But if it gets more and more, then
But there's
I'm
a
probably
chance
gonna be
that
fine.
it does.
Yeah, it's a chance. Oh yeah, it's a chance. But till then, oh, well.
I think that is like, I don't know. I just think that's the kind of thing it makes me lose respect for somebody who does stuff like that, because it kind of showcases that they're not capable of coming up with their own original ideas.
So he did this other video, Iraq, and it was called "Busting 100 Myths in 24 Hours,"
Yeah.
and it's like the same thumbnail as the Spider-Man one. So
Yeah.
Jake, did you copy his video first?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I got mine from the Spider-Man trailer, or from the Spider-Man like wallpaper. Do you know that like the movie poster?
Yeah.
Like it's that. It's basically that. That's probably where he got his too, realistically.
Yeah, I think
like the top-down
thumbnails-
shot of Spider-Man on the building, classic, right? So
It is. You can't.
that's
you can't
that's,
really claim.
that's where it came from. I think, at least, like probably where he got his. So I didn't come up with it myself, and probably neither did he.
There's a lot of
So-
similar thumbnails.
yeah, but like
No, I'm saying I was saying the idea of your video from him.
well, he never tried it in that video.
Did
In
he?
that
I
video.
can't.
No, he
I
didn't
can't
do
watch
any-
100 myths.
Yeah, I don't
this video.
think he ever did that. I feel like I would have seen that if he did try and actually climb a building. But
Do you watch a lot of YouTube in your spare time?
Yeah,
Like to
I
get
watch.
ideas and stuff like that.
I watched.
I'm
like,
not
a
saying like
bunch
to
of
steal
different
ideas.
types
But
of- yeah,
like for
looking for
inspiration and
ideas.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, I think you kind of have to.
I haven't been watching it that much videos
Really?
lately, so I've been trying to watch like an hour of YouTube a day
That's funny. It's like your homework.
because it's hard. You know, I
It
go
is.
on there and I have to like look through videos and find stuff that I like.
It's good for inspiration, and like I'll
It
be the
is.
first to say that stealing videos is okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you put a twist
I-
on it. Yeah.
I had this
If you
idea,
A, put a twist on
for
it,
training
or
a
B,
squirrel.
acknowledge that you've stolen it.
and
True,
I told
true,
Will
yeah.
about
You
this idea.
say, if you say to people, "I stole this idea,"
Yeah. After you called me out, I changed my thumbnail to I stealing copying Peter Sripol. I think.
but honestly,
did.
like at the end of the day, like at least
you're right,
Like
yeah.
what I don't like people who present themselves as having an original idea without accrediting where they stole it from. It is straight up actually plagiarism.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's fine. You can plagiarize, but at least acknowledge it, because otherwise you're like allowing the audience to think that you came up with this idea.
Right.
And that is like kind of infuriating to me, because it's just,
Yeah.
it's like clout stealing. Like you're stealing someone else's ingenuity for your own gain. And it costs you nothing to give credit other than getting less clout.
Yeah.
I've done videos before where I think I was the first person to do it, or at least, I did it, and then somebody else did it after me, and then I start getting comments on my video saying, you copied the King of Random.
Oh, that's
Like
annoying.
that. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know
Or
the
like the
worst
hack, I think it was
example?
something with the Hacksmith. They did something
Ooh.
after I did it, and then they started yelling at me.
The worst one I've seen is Jack's films and PewDiePie, where Jack has the series called Yai,
Yeah.
and Felix basically ripped it, but it's like kind of a joke, and he called it Lawai.
Oh, that's where that came from?
Yes.
I'd never. Damn.
And then people started coming after Jack's films, saying he copied PewDiePie,
Ooh. Yeah.
even though he had been doing it for years.
That's
He had been
annoying.
doing Yai for years. It's like Yai. I don't even know what it stands for.
Yeah.
Yai U S
It's something
I
you-
ants.
Yeah.
It's something. And that's like, that is like the problem on YouTube, is that you can, if you just steal stuff from people, like nobody knows who originally came up with the idea. Nobody knows, like, and then people get mad, and then people, it just kind of is, I don't know, man. It's just not fun. It's not fun to do stuff and then have other people just sort of rip it for, money. Because that's all they're doing. That's the only reason they're doing it, is so they can get views, so they can make money. Like, there's no sort of creative inspiration.
They didn't
behind it.
expand on
like,
the idea at all. They didn't like reference your video in the story. It's just,
Yeah.
The fact that your link is in the description is really actually bizarre. It says, "Thank you to Jay Laser for helping figuring out the climbing behind the scenes." Did you actually?
Yeah, this is the guy who he talked to.
What up? All right, here. Do you want me to read the text?
Yeah.
He said,
yeah.
This is what I said. Hey Hayden, thanks for reaching out. Love what you guys are doing. We have a few tough projects in the works that are taking up most of our time right now. It'd be cool to do something in the future when we have some more time. And that is all I said.
Yeah. We like, yeah, he was just like, he basically, the way he asked was like, you have what we need to make this video. And like, when can we do it? Like, can we do it this Wednesday?
Do you know why you have it?
Because I built it. Because I fucking built it.
You have the thing that they got the idea from.
Yeah. Yeah. but like, the thing is, like, I would have been like down to potentially help him, like, in time or whatever, but like not like that Wednesday when they were already planning the climb or whatever. And like, maybe if it worked out, like more of a collaborative thing, maybe like we do a video, but just not in that way. If that makes sense. But yeah, that's all he said. So I think what happened is they probably watched another video of mine. Like I used these grabos, basically suction climbers, like they're like electric grabbing things, like about a year ago, and did that, like climbing a building. But then for this new video, I like miniaturized and like made the actual thing. So that's probably where they got that idea, is that old video. So. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, how long ago have you been working on that? Because I saw that Green Goblin hoverboard video, and they were using those, climbing suction cups in that video like a year ago, or that was like that.
Was that my video,
or
is that my video?
Yeah, it was yours.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that was those. Yeah. So those were. That
Did
was
you make
about
another
a year
video
ago.
with the suction cups?
It was right around that time, like but
Okay.
we had the grabos, so like we knew that technology sort of worked. So then I sort of re-engineered it. Made everything.
Spider-Man. Gotcha.
Yeah, made everything from scratch to actually fit on my arm and be like super discreet. So then we did the big building climb video, and that's how that happened. But they probably just saw that first video and were just like, okay, we can just buy this
when
now.
was the text from?
When did he text us? Wait, when did he text us?
The first text was January 16th.
January 16th was the first text, and then he responded on...
I responded on the 16th.
When did you
He
post your
responded
video?
that day. When did I post my video? Like December, mid-December, probably.
I feel like he was just trying to say, like, give you credit without saying that he stole the video.
Yes.
And
I feel like I hate this, but I feel like people need to be called out for this shit.
Sure. Yeah. Will's trying to call him out.
Dude, Will, you are creating some crazy drama right now, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's so easy. All you have to do is say, I stole this idea from Jake Laser.
Yeah. Not like, well, yeah, it's just
So
the fact that he like
then
sort of
I bet
pretended.
I can climb a video. I bet I could climb a building faster than him.
Right.
Did he
Something
say
like
it in the
that,
video? I haven't watched the whole video.
No,
But did
I
he say that?
haven't either.
What? That he stole
Did
it?
you watch his video? Yeah. No. Did he say that he took the idea from you in the video?
No, he didn't mention me at all in the video. Like just in the description.
So yeah, it's so, when they say like on you see it on Reddit or other places where they'll freeboot a video from YouTube, they'll download a video, re-upload it somewhere else, and they'll be like, oh, credit to this person, and it's like, that sucks that they don't get the views. The views are now going to Reddit. Like I saw a video the other day that had like 17,000 upvotes on Reddit, and the video itself has like 1,000 views on YouTube. So they ripped it, get way more views.
Yeah.
The person,
that's
all they
annoying.
get is like accreditation. And that's like, that sucks.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, between creators, I feel like if you just give credit, just say you stole it or say that I took this idea from this person, it's like fair game.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like the cost is so low.
Yeah.
It's so low. Like the price to just use someone else's idea is almost free. You just have to say that you're using their idea.
Yeah.
And you can joke about it. You can be like sarcastic. You can be honest. You can say like, I was inspired by this person.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Mark Rober made his giant squirt gun?
Yes.
And then Grant Thompson remade it.
Yeah.
And he directly credited him.
did.
And he even let him keep his world record.
That's nice.
Right.
He made it
That's
that's
what
it still is like, it still could, you know, I think it definitely irked Mark.
Right.
But at least they acknowledged it.
No, I'm like, honestly about this, like, I'm not really even that mad. Like,
no,
just,
I mean,
just,
you shouldn't.
You know what I mean? Like,
even if you were mad, it's like you're not allowed to say you're mad.
No, I know, and he sounded pretty
It's like,
genuine too. So like, you know, I don't think.
Did you see the Nile Green? As part of the Nile Green episode.
I watched a little bit of that. Yeah, that was super funny.
So there was like an interesting takeaway from me with that. Where,
what happened at the end?
Like
there?
people, most people I think get it, but there were some people that were upset that we would suggest that Nile Green should stop making the videos he is making, or the specific style that he was making, where you couldn't tell the difference between a NileRed short and a Nile Green short, where it was like, people don't understand why that would make Nigel uncomfortable, or why the idea makes us uncomfortable of someone coming in and creating content that a lot of people can't tell isn't actually you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, like the general idea being that if there is even a chance, if a small percentage, like even if like a few percent, or worst case scenario, 90% of people misinterpret it and think that it's real, like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
There's rules in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think somebody commented something like this either in the Patreon server or in the comment section about, apparently in Hollywood, if you try to hire an actor and they say no, and then you hire an impersonator, you can get in trouble.
Ooh.
Because it shows that you're trying to use their brand.
Makes sense.
But if you go straight
unless
to the
you say something
impersonator,
like, the actor said no, so we had to hire an impersonator.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then
maybe
but
you
then
could.
it's like
maybe
then
you
it's like a
could.
joke, you know?
Yeah.
Right. That's more like a TV show, like a skit show
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
So if you go straight to the impersonator, there's never any connection between the brand and the actor, and so they can't really do anything. So in this case, it's like, you know, Nigel, like, you know, for anyone who's like upset at us suggesting that Nile Green should make either a variety of parodies or at least be, you know, which he did change. The last video, he made it very, very apparent. That was after we recorded the podcast.
Oh, nice.
So, that, like, you're running a small business doing YouTube videos. Like, Nigel hires like a bunch of his friends. Like, that's their job, is helping him. His mom works for him. I don't know if he's shared that. Everybody, like, his mom helps him with stuff. And so if anyone
all of
does
his friends
anything
that he works with.
Yeah,
His
if anyone
brother,
does
his
anything to
childhood friends.
undermine his business, that's not going to affect the employees that he's, you know, paying a salary to. And, you know, it's like, it's frustrating because like here's a, I don't know if I shared this on the Discord. I think I shared it with you guys, or at least on the recording server.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to tag people in that podcast, you know, you can type on YouTube now in the description, you can type @ and then you can type the username of the channel and it'll like automatically create like a hyperlink without having, you know, youtube.com/Jake Laser.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
You know when you're filling out the description of a YouTube video?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you type in like @William Osman, it'll like create an @tag, like a hyperlink, instead of having to type in www.youtube.com. When I typed in Nile, what do you think the first option was that auto-populated? It wasn't NileRed, and it wasn't NileRed Shorts. It wasn't Nile Blue either.
He's got a lot of channels.
It was Nile Green.
Wow.
Nile Green had better SEO, had better search optimization on the platform than NileRed did.
See, Jake doesn't know that
crazy.
because he never typed in Peter's name in the description of his video.
Yeah, I just never.
Okay, we're gonna go to YouTube. We're gonna go to YouTube right now. In a
I did
private
that once
window.
before to Nighthawk and Light. He did this thing where you get like a propane bottle and a tube of like vinyl clear hose.
Right, yeah,
and you
yeah.
hold it down
Yep.
and then you click it and it shoots like a a jet of propane.
Yeah.
And I meant to tag him, but I
Just forgot.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And I didn't put it in the video. I put it in the description, and I felt like such an idiot after that. But
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's
also
tough.
I was kind of just starting at that point. So
I know. Yeah,
wasn't-
like
I just feel like on YouTube, the people, like, I have fun on YouTube doing interesting stuff, and I like to hang out with people that do interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like every single one of us, pretty much everybody who's ever been on this podcast, for the most part, they enjoy making things. And when I see something like Eric stealing your idea, it's not about them enjoying making things. It's just chasing views. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I feel like
yeah.
we all have a lot in common because even if we didn't make videos, we would still blow shit up in each other's backyards.
Definitely.
And so it kind of bothers me a lot when someone takes that energy where they sort of like the idea of like making stuff and doing cool things only to capitalize on an audience,
Yeah.
you know, on you know, YouTube views and money. And it's just like this, like that sucks to me. Like it really sucks to see that.
Did you ever make videos before like putting them on YouTube? Or like how long have you been doing YouTube?
Like stop motion stuff.
Yeah.
Garbage. I mean, I can't, you know, you can't
On the
expect
old
it to
like
be good.
camcorders with the tape.
Right.
You know, the cassette tape in them.
Yeah,
How old are you, Jake?
23.
Well, that's when I was like a kid.
God,
but-
I still feel you look like you're 26. I don't understand.
What?
You look so much older than you actually are.
I guess so. Yeah.
What do you say? What do you think about that?
No. Well, it's funny. Like you guys, I saw the part, like all of you guys, I think it took like a year, maybe a year and a half to hit 100,000 subscribers. It took me like 5-6 years to do it because I was just like not
but
making...
you've had the same channel the whole time.
Yeah. You did a couple.
Right. I had like one channel.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
It probably took me like two years about.
Yeah.
But you also
still,
I feel like your videos have gotten a lot better. Like I think a lot of your earlier videos were kind of this very weird format where it was like making it real, but unfortunately making it real usually involves like a shit ton of resources and time and technical ability. And when you're a teenager, like you just don't have that. Even if you had the time, it's like, you know,
I was like
learning
the
to
low
make
budget
stuff
hacksmith.
Yeah. And it's like it takes time. It takes experience to learn
Just
stuff.
to learn how to
Like-
make a video.
Right.
Yeah. And like I never...
People are always
I never
Like,
had
you can
like...
make
you're bad.
stuff.
Everyone's bad when you start doing
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I know.
Sure.
And like I didn't have like no one around me did anything similar. So like I didn't have anyone to like get advice from or feedback. So it's just like I tried a bunch of different like formats, like nothing, I don't know, you know, like at school and all this other shit. So yeah.
So you've been for 6 years trying to, you know, grow a channel. And now you've sort of like, you know, come to this point where you have the ability to, you know, you've got a bunch of tools, you have space, you have a bunch of experience, you have money to throw at problems, and you're able to make some videos that get like 10 million views.
Yeah.
And then you have someone come in and take that from you.
I mean,
You
they're
see
not,
when you put it like
but
that?
they're not taking anything
No,
from me. You know
but
what
Jake,
I mean?
that's 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you've
You're not wrong.
spent trying to learn how to do stuff, to make titles and make thumbnails and do interesting, come up with ideas for videos.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
So like, you know, when you pay someone, when you pay an engineer, you pay a contractor who has a skill. Like you're not paying them for the actual work they're doing. You're paying them for the 2 decades that they've spent becoming really good at what they do.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's
Okay.
that's my spiel.
Yes.
What are you working on now?
I'm doing walking on water. So I gotta top it up with something cool, you know.
Becoming Jesus.
Yes.
So that's
We're moving from superheroes to like gods. So
How close is that video to coming out?
hopefully it'll be out in the next like 10 days, hopefully. So
Oh, so
we're almost there.
how does it work then? I don't think this podcast
Well, I
will come
don't
out
know.
for 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, let's
Okay.
guess.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
how
yeah.
do you think it
Yeah.
works well?
I said
Yeah.
hovercraft. I said
Yeah.
like just using air.
Using air. What do you think,
Yeah?
Kevin?
There's really no other way unless you're
Yeah.
flying.
It's
but
got it. Well,
cheating.
What do you?
In-
Yeah.
I
How
would
would
say
you make it?
propel- I
How
would
would
say-
you make it?
I would say I would have a pump attached to your shoes pointing downwards with water.
Yep.
That's what I would.
That's what I thought.
I changed my
Both of
mind.
those.
I'm gonna make the water really shallow,
Yeah.
Yeah, just cheat it.
like a half an inch deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you trying to run really fast across the water?
No, I'm just trying to like walk, like just stand on it and like walk around a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, are you actually Are you actually walking, or is it kind of more of like an illusion, like a magic trick?
No, I'm gonna be standing on the surface of the water and being able to like move around. I've done.
But
Yeah,
can
I've
you
done.
actually walk? Are you actually taking a step, or is it like moonwalking?
I don't know. I could probably actually take a step. I haven't tried that yet. I've basically
okay.
what I've done so far is I've stood and like moved around a little bit. What?
I
What
know
am I
how
doing?
this works now. It's a platform with a motor on it that as you walk, it like moves underneath you. And it's like right below the surface.
A platform.
Yeah, like
What
an
do you mean by
underwater
that?
platform.
You feel like a
that's kind of-
submarine.
Yeah. That moves underneath you.
That's
so
close.
it looks like you're
That's close.
walking with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think if it's not big enough to really walk on.
Well, there. It's like my feet
It's
are
like a
my
boat
feet
with
are
more steps.
No, it's like shoes. They're shoes, so
Oh,
I
they're
can
shoes.
walk on land. Yeah, but
They're
then I
just
walk
stilts.
into the
They're-
water, and then I
they're
can
what?
walk on water.
How big are the shoes?
Like this big, probably. They're like boots. They probably go up to, my leg.
When you're standing on the water, are you completely above the water or are your feet underwater?
I would say my toes and like maybe right below my ankles are below the water, but everything above the ankles is above water.
Okay,
It's just
so
really
definitely
powerful
like
propellers to
yeah,
keep you out of the water.
yeah.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
That would
what
be
it
wild.
is.
I wonder if that's how it is. I
Okay,
wonder if
see, that
that's-
was important because when you say walking, that makes me think the soles of your feet are on top of the water.
I know, yeah. Which they are actually. Technically, from like the big like the shoes, my soles are, I believe, right around the surface. Yeah, if not on the
Okay.
surface.
So then the propellers, like the ducted
Yeah.
propeller, whatever they
Yeah,
are, is
yeah.
like right at your foot level.
right at the foot
Or
level.
is it underneath your feet
It's under. Well, I mean, yeah, it has to be underneath the
or on
feet.
the side of your feet?
I did.
And then the water like shoots up at your foot and goes out or something.
Does
or...
it spray all over you?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh no, it'd be going down.
It'd be going. You have to shoot. You just need to shoot
Yeah.
enough force down to counteract
that's
your weight
right.
up. And like it's easier than flying because it's water and it's more dense and you can like do it. There's just more mass to shoot down, so you can
Wow,
build it in
how
a
fast
smaller
could
form
you go
factor.
if you like worked completely underwater with these?
You can. That's the cool thing. You can go underwater with these and fly around like Aquaman.
I bet. That sounds
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Peter made his electric boat and he had some pretty big motors on it, but he also had like 4 lead acid like 4 giant lead
No,
acid
they were
sized
like those
lithium batteries.
insane lithium fair
Yeah,
iron
so they look
lithium,
they're the
whatever
size
hell.
of a car battery still.
Okay, but they're lithium.
So-
Are they lithium? Are lithium?
Yeah, they
ion?
were
like
lithium.
$2,000 each or something stupid
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I
So
don't
where
have
are the
those, but-
lipos?
Lipos on the side of the boot. On the side of the boot. I had to waterproof them.
Waterproof or you just dunking it? Okay.
No, I had to. I'm like, there's one thing I'm really bad at, which I'm bad at a lot of things, but like this especially is like waterproofing stuff.
Waterproofing's
Everything
hard.
leaks. It's hard. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So
Just gets everywhere.
yeah. So the motors, yeah, I know. The motors are like 10 horsepower each, electric motors, and it's just it's like on half throttle. I shoot out of the water, pretty much.
That's cool.
It's crazy. Yeah, they're
You watch
fun. They're a
anime?
lot of fun. Anime? No, a lot of my friends are into it, but I don't watch it really.
I feel like doing
That's
what you
his
do.
secret.
I feel like you would watch anime. Like
I
sort
know
of the types
I know.
of.
I've watched like Avatar, but I'm not like a huge anime. Like you know what I mean? Like I've watched. Yeah, it's cool.
Not a dork. Like you
I'm
will.
not a nerd. No,
We had a
completely
whole.
nerd.
Was that the last episode? I think so. Where we just
Yeah.
talked about anime, and the homework was for Nigel to go home and watch anime, but then he bailed on this podcast. So
Boo.
He did, and that's why he's at a doctor because he had an aneurysm.
yeah, we decided to transition our podcast into a topic that was more popular because someone told us that our podcast wasn't as successful as this other one, and so
Oh yeah, the anime
we're going
guy.
to become an anime podcast. But I guess we've already done a bad job.
Oh damn! How big
We're
is this
complaining
podcast? By
about
the
YouTube
way,
podcast.
is it pretty big?
How big?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, are you guys?
It's usually like an hour.
Okay. Okay.
There's, I mean, so the pod. I was supposed to. My goal was.
Yeah. What's the goal of this?
The goal in general with a podcast is to like just.
Plan B.
Well, okay. I don't even want to say plan B because it definitely like it doesn't even make enough money for it to be a plan B. It just
No,
pays
just
for
enough to
itself.
pay the editor at this point.
Yeah, and
Start somewhere.
Yeah.
right, and so it's sort of more of like an excuse to just talk about stuff.
I like that.
We try to do like mastermind meetings too, where we just hop on a Discord call for a couple hours and we
That's cool.
just come up.
Yeah.
You pitch ideas where it's like, here's an idea I have, and everyone says that's stupid, or they say, well, what if you did it like this? Or like
We
that.
stole
had to
this
come-
idea from Mr. Beast, by the way.
No, he told
Yeah.
us to do it. It's different.
Honestly,
Well, yeah.
steal a lot of stuff from Mr. Beast. He's doing a lot of stuff right.
Yeah,
So.
he deserves to have everything stolen.
Yes. There's like so many Mr. Beast clones at this point. It's crazy.
I know.
It's
I
like,
hate it
what do you
so
think
much.
of like the super bright thumbnails? Like just, they even use the same
Dude, that's what I'm
font.
talking about. Stealing ideas. Is that like, to me, it's so boring.
Arak
Like, just
seems like a Mr. Beast clone.
Sort of a
Yes.
Mr. Beast clone, but
I remember, like, I hung out with him for a couple days. Yeah, he says he's texting me now. He says he wants. He asked if he could have your number so he could apologize. Like, he's not a bad guy.
no, he
Eric's
doesn't
not
seem
bad
like a bad guy at all. Yeah.
I think that, like, from the day or a couple days I spent with him, he is very hungry for
views.
success, which turns into views. And I think that sometimes people get too absorbed into it, and their whole existence becomes about views, and they sort of don't necessarily think about the consequences of the choices that they make, like maybe making someone feel like they've been ripped off, or showing a dead body that they found in a forest.
Oh. Yes.
Not the same thing, but
Yeah.
very
different.
similar. Like, man, the Logan Paul thing, and like this idea in general, I think this is an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I can understand how that forest video happened,
Totally. Yeah.
because that dude was a machine. Logan Paul was a machine at that time, where every day he woke up, and not only did he make a vlog, did he make a YouTube video, he also was constantly doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Like acting in, like YouTube originals, like just doing crazy stuff for the vlogs. Like I'm trying to like think, because I watched a bunch of them, years ago.
Yeah.
And he was always like doing some other thing. Like it wasn't just a video. It was more of like an actual vlog.
Yeah.
And when you do that every single day, and you think about it every single day, all you can think about is making content. Like that's your life.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, what is real life anymore? Is it making videos? Like, who am I?
I know.
Because who are you? Like, who is Logan Paul when he was making
he didn't
videos?
know.
Is he the guy on camera, or is he the guy off camera?
Yeah.
And so it's like,
some funny stories. about
there's a
that.
situation you can find yourself in when you make a choice, and it's like all you think about is content, and you don't think about, wow, this is actually a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that when you get, like potentially Eric is in a situation where he's cranking, like he's constantly working, like that is his whole life is making videos.
I know. Did you ever see like
he
Logan
moved-
around that time though, like off camera?
Not in real life.
Yeah.
No,
Like, cause I
heard
did
he
a
was very
couple.
quiet.
Yeah. Well, I did a couple of videos with him, and he was very tired, like off camera. It was
Yeah.
like crazy. He'd flip a switch and then he'd turn off, and like just go.
Just exhausted.
Yeah.
Mr.
yeah.
Beast was kind of like that too.
You know,
Like
you know
on
what
the
I
set
mean?
of his Squid Game video, he was sleeping.
Yeah.
like,
It's
while they were
crazy. He was
resetting
just
stuff.
like, they're all like so slow.
He's kind of low energy in real life, though. I wonder if Logan's the same way,
I think Logan's
or maybe
just more.
bursts.
Logan actually called me like he said I should quit engineering at one point, and like I
Really?
should just stop. Yeah, this is like 2016, I think. So like right
I'm
around.
glad you didn't.
I know.
That was when
it's-
you did the fire sword video
Yeah.
with him, right?
No, that was I did actually a video even before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a year before that, whatever. So I was like in college. I was a freshman in college or whatever, and like I built this thing in my dorm room, and then just like we had like a little break. So I flew out to LA, and like it's like, yo, you want to film this? And somehow we ended up filming it. But like on the plane, it broke, and like a bunch of shit went wrong because I had like no time to actually build it. So the video sort of went like a little sideways, and he was just like kind of mad that none of it was working like when it was supposed to, and like that he couldn't use it like because I was sort of showing it all. He was like, you should probably quit, and I was like, damn, okay.
Quit YouTube or quit engineering?
Quit
Oh,
engineering,
he
yeah.
said this in like a mean way?
In like a
That's-
video.
That's, oh no. Wait,
Yeah.
is it actually published?
It was. He took down the video though. Like I don't
Do you
know.
still have it?
I'll look for
Did
it.
you save it?
I don't know if I saved it, but it's pretty funny.
love to
Yeah, I
see
know. And like that was my first like intro to like LA and like any YouTube scene
Yeah.
or whatever. And I was
Did
like,
he pay
damn.
you to come out?
No, I was just out there to like get a
was
lay
like-
of the land.
It was like a clout thing where it was like you get exposure if you do this in a video.
yeah, it was just no, like I'd watched. He was like starting to blow up at that point.
Did
so I
you
was
know?
like,
Did
yeah,
he
it'd be
know you
cool.
lived in another state across the country?
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Yeah, he was kind of
You've
pretty
done-
cocky. Yeah, pretty cocky.
Yeah.
guy. But
You've done
honestly,
a lot
very
of
nice.
stuff.
What were you saying?
Yeah, everyone's kind of like that though. Everyone's
Yeah.
kind of like everyone's nice. There's nice, and then there's like nice, and like
Right.
like Keemstar. Like I met Keemstar in real life.
Yeah,
He's
how is he?
nice.
Is
He's
he
nice.
nice?
He's a normal guy.
Right.
On the internet, he's
He'll try
a
to
monster.
get
Yeah.
you canceled.
I don't even want to call him an asshole because he's not. He's a monster on the internet.
Yeah.
Like actually, like this
Yeah.
dude has caused so much damage to people's lives, and I think that when you see him in real life, you're just sort of like, I don't understand. Like I mean, obviously, like what's he gonna do? Spit in your face? And so I think someone like Logan, like he's not gonna spit in your face, but he's definitely maybe not gonna treat you well. He's just sort of going to,
Yeah. Well, no, I'm like he's a nice guy. Otherwise, like he's fun to hang out with and shit. But like, there's a lot of people who will only hang out with you if they're getting something in return.
If
You
you
know what I
have
mean?
value.
If you have value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
like imagine you're filming a video and you're doing something cool and someone shows up for like 20 minutes and just to film the thing you're doing, and then they bounce at the end of it and then they publish a video with the thing you did without asking
Yeah,
you
that'd
if
be
they
crazy,
could publish
huh?
it that day. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
that'd
be
be-
crazy if
yeah,
someone
that'd
just
be weird.
showed up to
Yeah.
film the thing you've spent months working on?
Mm-hmm.
How many months did you spend on the Spider-Man stuff?
Probably 2 months, give or take. But like, yeah.
No, more than that.
Well,
Maybe.
I mean, I had like the
Like,
idea
extract
turning
it.
around, like in my mind, like, you know, for honestly since the year ago, like with the wall climbing. But like, I'd never
Okay,
started
so you've been
building
thinking about it
anything.
for over a year.
Yeah, sure.
Then you spend months working on this with, using CNC
Yeah.
equipment and CAD, like coming up with
Yeah.
engineering designs, testing it, risking your own safety by climbing upside
bit.
down on drywall in your house.
Well, I mean, it's the worst that could happen, right?
You break your back.
Didn't the
I had
paint
a-
come off of the wall when you tried it?
Sometimes, yeah. Like
Yeah.
depends where in
I
our
don't know
house.
for-
Like our ceiling's honestly pretty messed up right now. But sorry. Yeah.
You've helped David Dobrik with stuff too.
Yeah. David's a cool guy. Yeah.
He's also probably nice.
Yeah.
Or
Does
he'd
he
be
ever
the
hit you
opposite
up,
because
though,
he
if you
seems
don't-
nice in videos.
He actually does.
Does he ever hit you up outside of YouTube?
He does actually.
Really?
Yeah. Which is pretty nice.
Just to hang out?
Yeah. Or like if he's has like
That's a win.
like he had like a early premiering for the new Jackass movie or whatever. So hit me up for that. So that was pretty cool.
That's. I feel like you took the thunder. I was expecting.
I know.
you to say
Will's
something.
looking for drama
Yeah.
right now.
I know.
Yeah,
Will wants to
looking
stir
for
up
it.
some drama.
No,
I
I
yeah.
think people should be very aware. I feel like there's a lot of like hyper optimistic people on like kids on this platform, and they don't realize that there's just a lot of like kind of nastier stuff than they might think. So it's good to hear when the opposite is
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah. For sure.
Because like on YouTube,
We've all
there
done
are
it.
other people, and doing stuff with other people can be of benefit to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious. Like if you're a small channel and a bigger channel like reaches out, or if you reach out to them, it's like if somebody reaches out to me, I know exactly what they're doing. Like I'm not stupid.
Yeah. Didn't you do that
Like
to Kevin?
they're coming. No, I didn't actually.
Oh. Never mind.
No, it's better.
Oh. Okay. What happened?
Kevin just watched my videos.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And actually, yeah.
but like
That's cool.
I did it kind of on my own accord because I asked people to like submit videos, and I could feature channels and stuff that were doing cool things.
Oh yeah.
So
I've
that's
done a bit of that. That's cool.
I think that. Oh, the net gun. It was Will's net gun.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like if a small channel reaches out, because I did this to other people, and it's like I almost in the email when I was like a smaller channel, I would like write to them. I don't think I ever did this, but I wanted to write like, I know that this doesn't really have any value to you, but maybe I could like help you do something cool that you couldn't have done otherwise.
Right.
And it just kind of
Yeah.
is like that's how it works.
Yeah.
Is that you're small, and when you work with other people, you can get clout, you can grow your channel, you can like get more awareness. People find your stuff that wouldn't have found it otherwise, and so like that's just how it works. Like that's fine. But sometimes people exploit that way more than they should, where they can like get somebody to do a lot of stuff for them without really giving them anything fair in return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to extract your clout.
Yeah. Jazza actually just did a really good video on ZHC, the art channel, who has like copied the aesthetic of
Mr. Beast art version.
Yeah, he talks the talk but doesn't walk the walk.
Really?
Yeah, he did a video where he was giving away. He had 4 artists competing for a Tesla. That's the concept. That's like the title of the video.
Classic.
And
it's always a Tesla.
It's always a Tesla. And I think some of them flew from like out of country even.
Oh, wow.
And they ended up realizing at the end that what he meant by competing for a Tesla was the cash value of a Tesla. And by a Tesla, he meant the cheapest Tesla that you could buy. And what's technically a Tesla is like a total destroyed $14,000 shell of what used to be a drivable car. And so in the video, he has a Tesla that they're painting. Like that is sort of the challenge. He's like painting this Tesla.
Right.
And so you as the viewer and they as the contestants see the Tesla and assume that's the prize. Not $14,000, which is still $14,000, but it's not a Tesla.
That's kind of annoying.
And so he's apparently done a bunch of stuff like that. And, you know, just from, you know, like knowing, you know, having friends who are in like the art community on YouTube, just sort of hearing about him having like hit them up for collaborations and then like never really like following through or never really like making note of the amount of effort it would be to do the idea that he pitches because he's like, you know, very Mr. Beast kind of centered. And so you find a bunch of like, you know, I don't want to, not ignorant, but like inexperienced channels, the young, like smaller channels that haven't been around as long, who are trying to grow, who fall for it. And they don't have a voice. So like, what do? Come out and like come after him. But then you know, he's got a bunch of rabid fans who are going to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. You blah, 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 blah.
I know, that's tough.
So for me, it's like, it's obvious. It's usually pretty obvious. You can find people who just enjoy doing stuff and want to do stuff. And that's like the thing you have in common with them. It's like, yeah, you make videos, but you also just enjoy blowing shit up in each other's backyards.
Yeah, I think you can definitely, that comes across in the video too, if you're actually into it versus just like sort of putting on a show. Like,
who else have you collaborated with?
I'll be right back.
Like the engineers like that, you know, obviously I've done people like Hype House people, like like other like, you know, sort of like Sway House people. Like I don't know if you follow any of that, but
I mean, kind of. We went to the Hype House that one time with you.
But yeah, not like a terrible amount of people. You're definitely much more connected than I am out here. We'll say that.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the Hype House Netflix show?
I have watched a little bit. Yeah. What do you think of it?
Through like 5 minutes. I couldn't.
Yeah, I know it's just like trashy TV, but there's a market for that.
I like the only time I could even bring myself to watch it would be like if I'm trying to like understand what they were doing and like see what the hubbub is, but it's just like I see it and it's like this. Yeah. It's not even that I think it's bad. I just like it's like I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and you're not the demographic, so that's totally fine.
Right.
Like,
who wants to watch it though? It's almost like. I guess kids, maybe.
Kids. Anyone who likes reality, like Jersey Shore, like anyone who likes, you know, reality TV. Right. You know, it's that genre. It's and honestly, like I think they did a better job than some I've seen. You know what I mean? Like, and it's also cool because like you sort of like know them a little bit. So that part's fun.
It kind of makes you see like how much of a facade a lot of stuff is.
It does. Yeah, you can sort of like.
Where it's like
this
is all
that's fake. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of fun, but
yeah. I think it's like I have very like minimal experience dealing with that because that side of YouTube I think is one of the just you know entertainment. Yeah. The TikTok side or the TikToker side, like it's not necessarily TikTok, but like those kinds of people on YouTube as well, has been some of the sort of like most vapid. Kind of content creation I've ever seen, where it's like you see what they do and then you look at it in real life and it's like this sucks.
Yeah,
like this makes me want to die.
You see videos of the Hype House, and then you see people going to the Hype House, and it looks completely different. Everyone's just kind of sitting around on their phone, or you know, like.
Last time I was at Kevin's house, he whips out this freaking ramjet that he built in his garage.
I love that.
That's what I want in life. I want to like, go to a friend's house who does the same shit as me, and they whip out some just horrible machine they built that their neighbors hate.
Yep.
Will's like,
come
"You
over
wanna
to
drive my
my
BattleBot?"
tent. Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Come mess
yeah.
up my lawn some more with
That's-
your BattleBot.
Yeah, let's
We
smash
can
it
drive it
up.
in the tent. Fuck it.
Yeah, no, you don't. Oh god, you tear the tent down.
Yeah, I know it would. It really would.
I don't know. I think that like, I don't know, because this is, I mean, more. I was talking to a friend earlier who we were having a kind of similar conversation about just working, and it's like why, like what's
Right.
the point?
But like a lot of people haven't gotten there yet. You know what I mean? So like they're still in that grind phase. I like think I know what will make me happy. It's just like clout, fame, whatever. But like,
It's not.
yeah, it's not.
This is the place. I shouldn't say this, but
And a lot, they'll like probably get there. Like a lot of these people are really young too. So like, they
that's a
don't know.
good. It's a good example, like, or a good thought of like, people are in the grind. They're trying to get this thing that they've seen. They
Yeah.
want to obtain it. They want. I mean, obviously you're young. It's like I want to make money. Like I want to
Exactly.
I want to be able to buy a thing.
what
like,
everyone
even if it's
wants.
just paying
Yeah.
rent.
Yeah.
Right. Like I just want to be able to have some money so I can.
Exactly.
And then you
Everyone's
get
chasing.
that first taste of money. And it
Right.
is kind of addicting. When
It
you do
is.
hit success like
Yeah.
that, it's like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah,
like,
it's surprising how fast it goes away.
Yeah.
How like normalized it is, and it like
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
you
It's
know
like
what I
numb
mean?
to it. Like you sort of just get used to it, and it becomes. Like I remember when I was building my laser cutter, I had like and this is funny. It was probably a lot of money. I had like $1,400 in my bank account.
yeah.
I've always saved money. Like I would never spend
Yeah.
money on stuff. Like I think that's my dad's.
But it's sort of crazy. Like with these videos, you sort of have to rewire your brain a little bit
Yeah.
to like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to spend money on this, and like
if you make a
need to-
spreadsheet,
yes.
you know what I mean?
and you look at the
I
input
just learned
versus
that
output.
from hanging out with Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to spend money on
Yeah.
the stuff
Like you
to make it
spent a
better.
bunch of money climbing the hotel.
Yeah, a lot of
You
money.
ever tell people how much money you spent on that?
No,
not want
I
to?
didn't. I mean,
you
are
wanna
we going
tell
to
them?
start dropping numbers or no?
Well, it's a video. I mean, it's.
I think it makes. I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Because it's like, some of these things we do, you like, the sponsor will let you have a budget of, to do kind of like TV-esque things.
Yeah. Actually, a funny video we just put out was a TikTok actually sort of about this. It's one of our more like, we put out like a really expensive build we did. And it was the Venom suit, like the liquid Venom. Like a total for that was like, I think $10,000 or $11,000 or something,
Yeah.
like all parts together. And like,
Which is,
crazy
with
for
all
like,
the
yeah, for a
magnets and
magnet,
stuff.
it's like, why would anyone in
Yeah.
their right mind ever do that? So we put out this video and we were like, worth it at the end, and all the comments are just shitting on it. They're like, why would you ever in a million years spend
Yeah.
that
well,
much
you
money
can't tell
on
the
this?
YouTuber comments that. I feel like in the podcast setting, like I've listened to some YouTuber podcasts and I love when they talk about this stuff. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I
I
love
know.
it. It's like, give me the deets, give me the
details.
dirty,
Yeah.
give me the spreadsheet. I want to see like how you guys do stuff behind
I
the
know.
scenes. Like
I know.
I like we did the Mr. Beast thing, dude. We know like almost the entire breakdown of what the whole thing cost, and I'm
was
so
a lot of
glad I
money.
shared that with us.
Yeah.
It was so much money, and like
He
so much
has
money.
not made it back in the ads. That's for sure.
He hasn't?
Shared what he
Exactly.
made.
No.
Oh, it's so far.
Is
away.
he in the hole? Really? Even
Yeah.
with the
I mean,
sponsor?
Maybe
Even with the sponsor?
With the
With-
sponsor.
Ads plus merch plus sponsor. You got a
Yeah.
lot of views on the video.
It does. Like 200 million. Yeah.
I think it's probably paid for itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that did a lot for him in terms of just like
Right.
cloud.
And
like,
that's how
that
they
was
think
worth
of it. Is
That's
is
how you
this
have
is
to think about
marketing?
it.
This is building the channel. They don't
Yeah.
care about making money on the videos.
You
Like, that's
almost
not
like
their goal.
Yeah. To get to that level, you can't care about money the same way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or at all.
It's a
if at
business.
all.
Like you have
It
to
is.
think of it like a business.
Yeah.
And like watching
Totally
them do what they did, my mind,
Does it
I
inspire
felt like
you at all?
it was like, dude, I can't even describe how good of an experience the Squid Game project was, because I felt like it opened my third eye, it opened my brown eye to what you can do with money, like the true value of money. Like people see money as this thing of like, oh, you should do this with that, or you should do that with that. But like money is a way to essentially buy expertise and time that you don't have.
Yeah.
And so, like, you can
Among many other
basically
things. Yeah.
right, and it's very hard to part with your own money depending on like
really-
how you
yeah.
were raised. Like for me, like like for the longest time, it's like $1 is $1. Like I
I know.
can't, if I can avoid spending it and do it myself, I should do that.
Exactly. Can't think like that if you want to.
You can't think like that
If you
because
wanna,
what
like,
happens is
elevate.
you get nothing done,
Yeah.
or you can get things done, but they won't be as big of an idea as something you can get done if you start using other people's time and expertise. So it's like the Squid Game project cost a fortune.
Yeah.
But I never felt like more of a badass when we did, like, we accomplished that whole project.
Yeah, you guys killed that.
Dude, like we did like
insane.
a series, like a startup level, like Kickstarter level, like bootstrap from the ground up in 3 weeks and delivered a functioning product. I was like, my mind was blown, and everyone on that team was so talented and so like willing to just get it done.
That's
it was
awesome.
mostly Will. Will did 90% of.
Yeah, Will.
I did.
Put the
I was
team
the
on his back.
logistics. I was the. I mean, it definitely couldn't have happened without me, but it also wouldn't have happened. There's like a few other people. Like if they weren't there, it would not happen.
You somehow convinced like 9 to 12 people to come and assemble circuit boards for like 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
The day before, the day of the filming, we were up till 8 in the morning assembling these circuit boards and testing them.
There's some great
insane.
shots of Kevin laying in a big pile of pizza boxes.
Trash,
Damn.
old pizza boxes, trying to sleep under pizza boxes.
Were you there, Kevin, at the Squid Game testing thing?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Well,
That's so
my
cool.
job was to, dude, what was my job in assembling?
It was just what. You were doing the labels.
I was testing things.
No,
I think
you were
I was labeling and like continuity testing.
batteries.
I think.
Yeah, I think Alan was.
I know
doing
I was doing
batteries.
labels.
Tommy was gluing the igniters. Alan was doing.
Oh yeah,
the
we also had to
igniters.
make like 1,000 igniters because we had to do it twice because the first ones were too powerful and they said these it's too much, so you got to make them weaker.
We went to
just
McDonald's
such
and
a
got a bunch
headache.
of McDonald's straws, like a huge stack of McDonald's straws we stole.
Oh yeah.
And we used those to package the rocket motor igniters and black powder.
A little bit
fuses.
extra of
Really?
fuses,
Right.
just for a little bit extra.
Extra.
And then we
Didn't they just
sealed the
CGI it
ends of the
anyway?
straw.
Yes.
They did.
Just
They added
CGI'd
some
it.
stuff.
Oh,
They
my
made,
God.
dude. They literally what we had before was like
It was
perfect.
great.
And they,
Yeah.
they told us
It was
to
like
dumb
it was
down.
squirt out yellow juice.
Yeah.
It was like it was very obvious. And
That's
then
annoying.
They said
and
it
Will-
was too violent.
Will did a demo for them, and they said
Yeah,
this is way too intense.
yeah.
This is gonna scare kids.
Damn.
But dude, I came back from that and I immediately like put together the car video, which was like
Yeah.
14,000.
When's that coming out?
After the Mr. Beast video. It should have come out this month. The Mr. Beast video should come out.
When's Will coming out of retirement?
As soon as I can post this Mr. Beast video. It's just
What
it's
is
like,
the Mr. Beast video? Is it just the behind the
yeah,
scenes
exactly.
of? Oh, got you.
Exactly. It's just too much. It's like I'm trying to make a more cohesive story out of it.
Got
and it's
you.
just like it's like breaking me because there's like a lot of technical information which I feel like is interesting because it like helps to build up the horribleness of this actual project.
Yeah, and your
But then it's
cat
also
video
like
too.
kind of boring. And the cat video.
You got a lot of backlog there.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
So many videos.
Yeah,
But like
what
you know,
cat
it's
video? A different cat video?
the mold video, mold drama.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like another more cats through more holes and more boxes.
Yes,
And, dude, it's
more
so like
cats.
you did this hotel like just climbing
Yeah,
the wall
Yeah.
of the hotel.
yeah,
Do you want to say how much the hotel charged you to do that?
yeah. It's about like 10 grand to do that.
Yeah.
So. Yep.
I don't know if I would do that, and that's the mindset
Yep,
that it's
that's
just
the
hard
thing.
to.
Same.
Like,
Yep.
I
Nobody
had
else
to.
would
I had
do
to
that
weigh that.
except
No
for
one.
you, so you
exactly.
get those views.
This
That's
is
how-
not
Exactly.
what it cost him to climb it. That is
Yeah.
what the hotel charged him.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And then there was like we had to get a bunch of people to spot me, insurance, everything else, all added up, and the cost to actually build the things, and like it was an expensive video.
Yeah.
Expensive video.
But, it's like you could do that because a sponsor is willing to pay
Exactly.
you the money to do that.
And like I should.
So I get mad
do
when
that.
people like sponsors, like block the sponsors, stop doing sponsors. It's like,
No.
no, like you can do so
This
much cool
content
stuff
wouldn't
when you
exist
have
without
money.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to see, it's like just how it has to.
What
work.
do you complain about, like commercials on TV? I mean,
And also
yeah,
on YouTube,
now
you can
people
actually
do.
just skip if you
I
want.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't.
But,
You
Yeah,
know.
but don't. Come on.
Yeah, watch
Use
it.
Go to
code
the link in
Becker
the description.
at-
Yeah,
at
use.
checkout.
How do you feel Linus Tech Tips? People just gave him a bunch of shit recently that
Really?
he was tweeting about ad block being he didn't say he was mad. He was just saying that you have to acknowledge it's basically similar to piracy. It's basically piracy. If you use ad block, it is essentially piracy, morally or ethically or whatever.
But like it seems like drops in the bucket at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
mean, I think
majority,
at least 50% of my views are on mobile, and I don't think anybody
exactly.
really
It's
cares.
mobile. No one has
Yeah.
ad block on mobile. I mean, you can, but like no one
Right.
seems like they do. Like, and that's watched through the YouTube app, so you can't like ad block.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of
harder.
people.
It's a
There's
lot
some
harder.
Reddit threads. I shouldn't read the Reddit threads, but Reddit threads just sort of.
I haven't been on
debating
Reddit in
about it.
4 days now. I've cut
That's
it out of
good.
my life.
I need to. How did
Yeah.
How did you
It's
do
cancer.
that? How did you do it?
I deleted it from my phone.
I don't have it on my phone. I can just go to the browser.
I just don't do it.
Blacklisted.
I'm just cold
Shit.
turkey.
How do I?
Wow.
How do I also just not do it?
Just
I
every
deleted
time
Twitter
you go
from my
on, every
phone.
time
That
you
was
go on it,
easy.
just click out of it. You
Yeah.
know, if you want to look something up and you have a question you want to search on Google, like how to program this dash Reddit, that's okay. But you can't browse the front page at all,
You can do it.
or
Will.
you can't browse anything else. Do you like Reddit, Jake?
No, I'll go on it occasionally, but I'm not like addicted to it by any means.
What's your vice?
advice?
Do you
Other
play
than
video
drugs.
games?
No,
Are
I
you a
don't.
gamer?
I like to say I'm a gamer. I'm not actually a gamer, but
No, you have too many muscles to be a gamer.
You just watch,
Nope.
you just watch superhero
Yeah.
videos to get ideas
Yeah.
for videos.
yeah. Will, when are we gonna get fat? By the way, come on.
Oh, I'm
Let's do that
already
video.
working on it.
Okay.
We do a video of like what was it? Who can gain weight or who can lose
Who
weight? Or
can-
making Jake Laser fat?
Yeah,
Well, I
something
don't-
like that, and then we do
Oh,
like
nice.
just a whole transformation thing. It'll be great.
Yeah, Jake is ripped. Oh, we were say like we both get fat and then see
Yeah.
who can get
See-
fit
yeah.
sooner.
Yeah,
It's not gonna
Oh,
be
that's
me.
it could be you.
No, dude,
I'll
I
give you a
don't-
head
I like-
start.
Yeah, that's
If I can get fat, I think I win automatically.
Kevin
Honestly,
could probably lose
Kevin-
weight
yeah.
I can't.
instantaneously.
That's yeah.
I'm like 6
It's-
foot 155, 6'1",
Wow.
155.
Damn. Yeah.
I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Except when
Yeah.
I pulled a Nigel and I gained like 10 pounds by drinking milk.
Nigel did that. It was
Yeah.
funny.
I think Nigel still does it. He just won't admit to it.
He doesn't want people to know. He'll
bullying
he'll
you,
only
Nigel.
share his cool, embarrassing stories. He doesn't share his actually embarrassing stories. And then people say like he's so relatable, and I'm like, if you heard half the crap we knew,
Yeah.
you would hate him.
Let's speculate why Nigel's at the doctor's right now.
He drinks sour chocolate.
I feel like it's something to do with his stomach. Like honestly, the first time he came over to my house, he used the bathroom like 6 times. I don't know what was going on. The first time I met him.
Oh, because he made that super spicy like
Oh, it might have been
capsaicin
that.
extract, and he
Yeah,
kept
it was
tasting
just-
it. He was trying to get me to taste it. He was trying to get Will to taste it, and everyone would say
Yeah.
no, but he would keep tasting it. Like, see, it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's
And then he
probably
would say it
it.
would hurt
Just-
his stomach.
yeah, that might have been it. It was
Yeah,
funny. I was
I-
like, he's okay.
You always got that one friend who you always feel like there's something wrong with their health. That's Nigel.
Yeah. Yep.
Talking about how Arby's cured him. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I think you should go talk to an actual doctor. Yeah, I'm trying to like, we're trying to be more consistent with the podcast. I think that like, cause like, we basically do all this, like in real life, we hang out, we,
Yeah.
do our
Play video
Discord calls, we
games.
play video games and stuff. And I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like people enjoy seeing those dynamics.
Dude,
and
totally.
hearing like potentially like, interesting conversations.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
also-
that our conversations are interesting, but
It's also so interesting because like what we do is sort of not like it's not like the friendship is the video sort of. It's more of like
Right.
what we're doing in the video.
right.
So like, but I mean, you've sort of more transitioning to more like personality, like sort of that style a little bit. But
Right.
yeah, I honestly like it better that the friendship or whatever isn't the content because it makes it more real off camera. Sort of that makes more
Right.
sense. Like,
I
Yeah.
kind of have like compared YouTube because I've for a long time I never really understood Twitch. Like I remember trying to understand Twitch. Like,
yeah,
because
I still don't
think when
understand
Michael
it.
and I first moved in, we talked a lot about it. And I really, really, really tried by like watching some streams, and I just didn't get it. And then I thought about something, a while back, where when I would drive to school or to work, I had like a 50 to 60 mile drive each way for, I just lived kind of far away. This is college, not like high school. I would listen to radio shows, and in the morning, if you leave early
Yeah.
enough, it'd be like a talk show.
Yep.
And I would listen to that.
yeah,
And I enjoyed it. And I felt like it was like Carson Daly. It was like 93.1. It was Carson Daly. And then there was always just like a couple other random people that I don't remember. And like I think back and I'm like, oh my God, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's just online. Yeah, exactly.
It's just a person talking about crap.
This is what we're doing. Yeah.
Right. We're talking about crap right now.
Exactly.
And I was like, I used to listen to people talk about crap. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like this weekend I did this thing, and it was almost felt very personal.
It is. Yeah.
But it was sort of just like, oh, like this is kind of a nice way to, distract yourself while you're driving. Because being on your phone while driving, there's all sorts of consequences for that.
If you watch
Like
this
dying.
while you're driving, let us know in the comments that
Yes.
that you're currently driving.
Make sure you leave a comment. Definitely not while you're at a red light, though. Do it either while going above 50 miles an hour. Yeah, that's the rule. Above 50
Above
miles
50
an hour.
miles an hour. Take
And then
out
leave
your phone.
edit the comment later to let us know that you have survived.
Yes.
After
Yeah, you gotta
Only
follow
leave a
up.
comment if you're going over 90 miles an hour in a car. Actually, no, in general.
Yeah, anything. Why not?
I don't care what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like, I don't know. I feel like when I make stuff, the pot, like this is easy. This is just sort of like
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
and having fun. I mean, there's like stuff that I feel like you can never talk about in like a video because it just like doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Or it's like out of context. But
doesn't
here
cut,
it's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love talking about stuff like, someone copied my video. Because like, what do you do? Go in a video and complain about it? Like, no,
Yeah.
it just comes across as
I
like
know.
weird.
Yeah.
There's kind of a weird, like, I mean, there's a lot of weird things online. I'm gonna say that a lot, but like where you almost can't acknowledge stuff because if you acknowledge stuff, it's sort of like you took effort to like acknowledge. Like you can't defend yourself online, basically.
Yeah, it's like the Barbara
Yeah.
Streisand
I
effect
know.
or something.
Yeah,
You just
right.
Ignore it. You can't.
Like,
Yeah.
if someone
Ignoring it
accuses
is by
you of
far the
something-
best way to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the instant you try to
instant you
address
give in.
a thing,
If you go
Then
to
it
my
almost-
early videos, I would get into fights in the comments
Oh.
all the time, and Will would always yell at me. He's like, "God,
Don't.
what the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I couldn't
Don't.
help it. I had to
Yeah.
do it, but I realized that it just makes you look bad.
Yeah.
yeah, which is
does.
funny because like even if you're right, people see it almost as if like, oh, like you stoop down to the level.
I know.
Well, they could say that, "Oh, I'm a PhD professor. I've been doing my research on this forever." They might not have done anything. They could just say that. They can
Yeah.
act convincing, and then people think they know you. That I'm some idiot
Yeah.
that just pours aluminum on things.
Well, that's
And they
true.
don't- Well, I mean, yeah, but
Come on. Come on, man.
We're all idiots. Everyone's an
Exactly.
idiot. Everyone who thinks they're not an idiot is the actual idiot.
Yes. I know. Yeah.
I remember a comment like really early on where it was the laser safety goggle video that I did where we wanted to see like how much damage could a laser do to your eye. And so it was like probably the most scientific video I've ever actually done. We got pig eyes and got laser glasses, got regular safety glasses, got like some, IR, detectors, like thermal light detectors. And did this whole experiment basically showing that like, well, turns out that safety goggles that you can buy at the hardware store will actually block all the IR light from the laser cutter,
Really?
but they're not rated. And so you can buy them and you can use them, but you can't guarantee that it's exactly what you need, if that makes any sense, right?
Interesting.
yeah.
So it's like, it's like these do not have anything on them that say they've been tested for this. So they might not work, depending on what the plastic is, but it probably will work. Anyways, the
Okay.
comments were like, one of them specifically was talking about how like that's stupid and like that's not how it works and like they never wear glasses around their laser, blah blah blah. And so I was like reading into it, and it turns out the guy was talking about a fiber laser, which is a completely different
Yeah,
wavelength
different
of light.
wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like how do you argue with that? Where it's like fundamentally they completely miss the point that the material of the glasses
Yeah.
controls what kind of light passes through it. And if the laser uses IR light, it's not the same as another laser that also uses IR light, because IR light could mean
It's a huge
1,000
spectrum.
things.
I know.
Spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you have someone confidently providing actual misinformation where if somebody reads this, they might take it seriously.
Yep.
Just people don't have the full story is usually like, I'd say like 99% of the reason people get into arguments and people get hurt on the internet.
Yeah.
They don't have the full story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Have
like,
you ever-
I don't know, man. You can't escape. You can't, like, anyone says, like, oh, you did this thing. You see it every time someone gets canceled for whatever they did. Even if they come out, like, do you ever see the Adam Savage thing? This one's bad.
I think so. Which Adam Savage thing? Or what? Adam
His
Savage?
his sister accused him of like heinous stuff when they were kids.
Oh yeah, I forgot
God.
about that.
Yeah. I don't even want to say it. I don't want to get demonetized.
Okay.
But like, you know, just like basically like sexual abuse stuff.
Right.
And it turns out he comes out and he's like, no, like my sister is like mentally unwell. Like she's like schizophrenic.
Oh.
But the problem was that all these like headlines ran with it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Headlines really.
And now it's like
that.
this idea is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's like not true, like even I myself, when I think, it's like I think of this story like, oh, Adam Savage, and then like that's something that I think about, even though it's not true. It's like I know it's not true, but now that thing is just there.
Yeah.
It's like if someone dies in your house, and you like I don't want to go in that room anymore.
I think someone might have died in my house, but
Probably.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, you know, it's like even though you know that there's not like a dead body in there, it's just like the idea.
Yeah, right.
Like sometimes like you can't, like it's just stuck in there. It makes you think
know.
about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's annoying because is super clickable. Like people, and that's again a currency, is just attention. So
Oh yeah.
of course everyone's gonna run with it, but it's unfortunate.
What kind of stuff do people say on your videos?
Yeah, do you ever get into internet arguments?
No, I don't like to respond to the negativity. I'm more of a passive guy. But it's for a while there was a lot of just suggestions, which I honestly like because it's sort of like a focus group for what projects you can do next.
Right.
I've recently a little bit been moving away from that. And it's also
there's a lot of
what were you saying?
shows. You ever see like shows where like you can submit, like if you submit ideas or like don't submit ideas because like we won't give you credit for it. Like basically, you know, they say like 'cause they don't want somebody submitting an idea for like Mythbusters, and then Mythbusters does it, and then this person comes back and says like,
Right.
that was my idea, blah blah blah. blah. So they'll say something like you know, any idea you submit to us like will not be used. Like do not submit ideas,
Right.
blah blah. But they might still use it, but it just sort of
Right.
makes that clear.
Yeah.
I almost feel like there's an opportunity for, even if you do read the ideas that people give you, then somebody could come in later and be like, I gave him that idea and he didn't give me any credit.
Yeah,
for
but
the idea."
what are they gonna? This one comment in the endless sea of you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna matter. But
This
yeah.
this kind of happened. There's like an animation studio in Japan, and they did something like send in your stories, and if your story's good, we're going to turn it into its own anime. So a bunch of people, you know, put in their stories, and like a year later, there was a scene in some anime that matched a scene that somebody sent in as a story, and the person that sent in the story was mentally ill, and they came in with like 10 gallons of gas and burned the building down, and they killed like
God.
30 people.
Holy shit.
Holy
What?
shit.
Yes. Yeah. So
Wow. Okay,
Anyways,
maybe I'll
don't-
give
don't
people
let-
credit. Yeah, no.
Don't let people give you suggestion
No.
ideas or they'll come kill you.
Yes, all right. Yeah, maybe I'll stop doing that. Wow.
but it wasn't, it turns out it was just like a really stereotypical kind of like, you know, cliche kind of scene, and this guy interpreted it like he thought that they actually stole his scene, but it was something that appeared, you know,
Right.
they didn't say exactly what it was, but you know, just like
Yeah.
some basic shtick.
I saw a little bit of
Wow.
that with there's this Netflix show coming out with Jimmy DeResta. I think I think Alex.
Oh, yeah,
did
I saw the
posted it on
trailer.
server. And some people, other YouTubers, are upset because there is a YouTube channel called oh god, what's it called? Like Kids Invent Stuff.
Yeah.
Where they do basically they take ideas from kids and they sort of make the idea into like an actual, like a real thing. And the Netflix show is a very similar concept. And I kind of like, I don't really know. I saw some people get like kind of pretty, what seemed like heated or upset about it. But it's hard to tell, like, you know, one of them says this guy, I think Jackman works. Like a lot of these people I've met and hung out with in the past at like Maker Faire and stuff, and they're all very nice. Kind of rebutted saying like, oh, they've been coming up, like we came up with this idea like 3 years ago. Like this idea has been in the pipeline for 3 years. And you go look at the Kids Invent Stuff and it kind of like, it kind of aligns, but it's like, you know, where does that line end with like, oh, here is an idea of like kids have an idea and then we make the idea and it's a YouTube channel and then Netflix has a show. Like it's kind of it's a pretty generic idea, right?
It is. I'd say
So it's like-
the idea ends at it being produced in a
Yeah,
way. Like
right.
anybody can make that video, and you know, you could get 10 people, have them make a video like that. They would all be different. It's all about how you
Right.
present it.
And it's like, you know, the show itself to me kind of feels like it's this group of guys who are friends and they just sort of do dumb stuff. And that kind of feels like to me like the core, like the vibe of the show. And there's people who, you know, some people were suggesting like, you know, why is there not more diversity and not more this and not more that? And it's like I definitely agree, but I also think that there's kind of this weird, like, because we pitched a TV show. Actually, like, this is an interesting story. I don't know if it's we'll see what happens. But basically we pitched a show and I did everything in a way. Actually, this is kind of a long story. The Fine Bros, FBE, pitched a show to me years ago before they got canceled.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
And it's a really good idea. And so we started working with them to like flesh it out. And so like we were developing, you know, ideas, materials, we're trying to develop the format, potential like, you know, kind of thumbnails. And we were going to try to pitch this to YouTube Originals, which is like dead now. Then they got in trouble. And so like the both of them, I think kind of like left or stepped away. And they just essentially said, hey, like, you know what, you guys just take it. Like, right. Just, you know, we can't help you right now. Like, we're dealing with this stuff. So just take the idea and we're going to sign it off completely to you. And so then we started working with some other people. And they, like, everything we did, it was like the idea was to have 3 people. It'd be me, Alan Pan, and Jabril. And it was like people who were actually friends in real life doing, like, science stuff.
Yeah. Is that the one where you kept us for a helicopter? Or
yes,
sorry, you get to
that. Yeah.
Sorry, no.
And like I don't want to go into too much detail, but like there was some stuff in there that was just it was a nightmare. It was an actual nightmare dealing with like bigger companies and like the weird ideas that they had for like stupid reasons. And it's like, you know, I don't know, maybe one day I'll share more of it, but it's like it's kind of like super questionable stuff that, you know, like it hurt my feelings. But at the end of the day, what they didn't understand was that the whole point of the show was 3 friends.
Just 3 friends. Did they not want you?
Friends.
Was that part of it?
Well, they didn't want me because
they didn't want you.
It's
okay.
different.
Okay.
No, I don't even want to go there.
Okay.
It's not me. It's just they wanted more diversity, basically.
Right.
But
that kills the vibe of
friendship.
Exactly. And so they made all these suggestions about finding like random people, and it was like you don't understand. This is 3 friends.
Like,
and like that's kind of
brothers.
Do Jackass, but get like a bunch of random people on there who've never met and see if it's
that doesn't work.
Yes,
the dynamic's not there.
That's kind of the part that's like hard. Like the thing with that, you know, even though like let's say they're ripping the idea, if they are, which, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's probably some subconscious where there's definitely influence. But like it just to me looks like that seems like the energy of the show. It's like actual like 3 or 4 or 5 actual friends, like people who do stuff in real life. I don't know. It's just like we did the car video.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's like people that I actually know. Because if you take random people and like stick them together, trying to just achieve some, you know, like this idea of what you want without getting the energy that you want, like it's not going to come across if you force it.
Yeah, unless you're like super personable and can get along with anyone, but that's like pretty rare, you know.
Yeah,
like, you need like almost actors.
But you still like you gotta like form like those connections too.
Yeah.
I think someone stole the idea from us.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
We had this whole pitch that we've been working on for years.
You gonna call them out?
Yeah, if it happens, yeah. Someone has like we have material. We have pitch material.
Yeah.
We have like slideshows, we have thumbnails, we have titles, concepts, outlines.
I've seen it.
And someone else is pitching something that is almost identical. And
well, the studio you were pitching that you were working with,
we pitched to a demo, so somebody
anymore.
took it. Somebody took our material.
And is like it the same studio or different?
Well, because we talked to a bunch of different
okay.
Production companies and studios. Like we talked to Discovery, we talked to History Channel, we talked to YouTube, we talked to I don't even know like the parent companies of some of these, whoever runs like Spike, I don't know. And then out of the blue, there's an email asking Alan Pan for like an audition to this show that is
Alan thing. Alan. Have you done TV shows? and stuff like that?
Kind of. Not
I've done
really.
one.
How was it?
It's horrible.
Would not recommend ever.
Yeah. That's what
Stay
Alan
away.
told
Don't
me.
touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay in
a
YouTube
nightmare.
forever.
Yeah, oh, seriously.
Yeah.
It's like
YouTube
what?
is the
Like,
greatest
just
thing
a lot of-
ever.
Yeah, the closest thing I did was just like a wired thing, and it's just a lot of like it took them like 3 hours to set up for one shot that I could have done in like 5 minutes.
Yes.
That seems to be like the main issue.
You get there, they tell you to get there early for your call time. You show up, they set up the cameras and everything for 3 hours, and then
Yeah.
you're in there for 30 minutes, another 3 or 4 hours.
Yep.
Wait, tell us about, I want to hear, I haven't really heard too much about this. You want to go through the whole, this is street science, right?
Yeah, street science.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So how did you even start doing this? Did the show exist before you? Relive your
did,
trauma.
but I was also on the first season, so I was like a guest in the first season. It was Darren from like Slow Motion.
Yeah,
I
sure.
Can't remember.
Promo guys.
No.
No,
Never
it was
mind.
another
Yeah,
someone who ripped off the slow-mo guys.
Oh,
No.
is that? I don't know.
Only
if they
I
own
can
that.
have a
Not
slow-mo
exactly.
camera on YouTube. No one else is allowed to have slow-mo
Yeah,
But-
that's a little like.
so this was on the Science Channel. It was kind of like, I don't even know, maybe a little bit like Mythbusters, but I guess the main idea of the show was like you would do science demonstrations in front of like people on the street or something like that, street science. But it kind of just like went a lot, that was obviously didn't work that good. So maybe they would do like one little thing an episode, and then it turned into kind of like bigger builds. Like we dropped a car on top of another car with a I took like a giant safe that I cracked open in one video, and we took it to a junkyard. We set up a bunch of oil barrels, like bowling pins, and then like the crane magnet picked up this safe that was like a ton, and then threw it, and they were trying to like go bowling with it. So it was just stupid.
pretty cool.
It just turned into, it was vaguely science,
So
vaguely
they would
just
call
screwing
you
around.
in.
Right.
Wait, how did they?
So
come
that
to
was
you
the
because
idea of the
YouTube?
show. And I got roped into it because they're like, oh, we had fun with you on the show. Why don't you come back for the second season? And I'm like, okay.
Wait, were you a
maybe-
guest in the first season?
Yeah, I was a guest.
Oh, so you weren't like the main host or anything.
No, I was just, I think they came over to my house once. I went up there once or twice.
Okay.
And then it was kind of like, I became like a main host.
For
And
the second season.
for the second season. And I'm an hour away from Tampa. So I had to drive there like 3 or 4 days a week, basically 4 days a week for filming an episode. And, it would maybe take like 3 or 4 days to film each episode because they had to build crew who would build stuff. And then we would just kind of use it like it was our stuff. Or like, they would do all the,
Yeah.
But
Right.
so I was up there from 7 a.m., 8 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m. So
That's
it's
too early for
12-hour
me.
days.
Oh my god.
And do you know how much I made? Guess how much I made for like, I don't know, 21 to 30 hours a week. For like
Swear to
each
God,
episode.
it better
Guess how
be
much
like-
I made for each episode?
$1,000,
A couple thousand.
$2,000.
Yeah, it was
I
like
mean,
$2,000.
No.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's
so I made
brutal.
like, I don't know, it wasn't that bad. It was like $20,000 for 4 months of work.
But
And
that's-
it was
dude,
a lot
yes,
of work.
okay. So this
lot of
is
work.
this is just like one of the weird things about television and like just entertainment in general. Not YouTube though, is that you get like bursts of work. So like what
Yeah.
might seem like a lot of money actually isn't, because it's only a couple weeks. And then all of a sudden your income disappears completely. And so if you average
Yes.
it out over the year for like how much work you're able to get versus how much work you didn't get, like you're not making a lot of money.
No, and it really was not for the amount of work that I was putting in.
Right.
And it wasn't, I say that, they had their build team. I also did a lot of
It's
builds.
like
I
almost
did
a
that
full-time job,
mousetrap car.
basically.
I did
It was
this
a full-time job.
Totally, I don't know. Like if you look at my videos when I was doing videos, then I think I might have put out 2 videos, 1 video in 4 months. So it was just so much work.
Yeah.
And I built like this mousetrap car. I was up till 4 a.m. building a mousetrap car.
Wow.
Like I say a mousetrap car. It was a 4x8 sheet of plywood. There was a full-size mousetrap with like car springs on it.
Oh, was that a
to-
YouTube video for you?
Yeah,
Or-
I made a YouTube video after.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. Yeah, that was cool.
But that was for the show.
Oh, okay.
And it was like it was like the Mr. Beast thing. I was up all night with one of the other co-hosts doing it.
Yep.
And I don't know. there was just also like a lot of infighting, I would say, about like the direction of the show. Everything always kind of felt produced, and I wasn't
like
really
fake.
a fan of it. They were
Give
extremely
me the real stuff.
safety cautious on the show.
Right.
Like you couldn't have any fun, is what it felt like.
Oh.
And
when we filmed for Jake Roper's Could You Survive the Movies, there was like wands. It was like Harry Potter, and it was like wands in real life. And like, okay, what is a wand in real life? They had a laser pointer, a small flamethrower. Oh God, what was the last? Oh, and it was like a shock, like a taser.
Oh, okay.
That Electro Boom made.
Like that came out of a wand.
Yeah,
what?
it was like it looked like a sex toy, honestly, because of it was like the what do you call the bridging when you do the diode bridge
full
amplifier?
bridge rectifier.
No, but like the voltage doubler thing.
Oh, Krakow
Transformer? Wait, what?
No, it's like a diode capacitor.
Yeah,
diode
voltage
capacitor.
multiplier.
Oh yeah,
Voltage multiplier.
Voltage multiplier. Yeah.
So you got like it just, and then it was all like, covered in epoxy, and it was like ribbed. It was like
Oh.
And the flamethrower was like a hacked Bic lighter.
Oh, yep.
And they made me put a full fire suit on.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys, like, this is
Oh.
what the.
Oh
No.
man, I had to wear like a full fire suit so many times in that show. And it was like raining out. We were doing thermite and it was pouring rain, and I still had to wear this fire suit. My shoes were
So
soaked.
annoying.
But basically, I heard that I don't even know how to say this without anybody caring, but whatever. So basically, the video idea was they filled up a truck, like a welding, like a van, like a work van.
Yeah,
They said, like,
cargo van.
what if your acetylene and your oxygen were leaking in this van? How big of an
Yes.
explosion would it be? And it was
Yes.
apparently so massive and so big that they were worried that because it was just way too insane for like
They
how
actually
easy it
tried
was.
this, so they filmed this and
Yes,
did it.
they filmed it, they did it, and it was such a
It was
massive
never aired.
explosion that they
Wow.
just like all agreed to never talk about it or publish the video or anything ever again.
There's a crossover between effort and
Yes.
destruction, and I think that did not pass the threshold because the amount of effort required to do that
Yep.
Yeah.
is not a lot.
Right, yeah, it's above the line.
We did it with little bags. Like I blew up a pumpkin years ago for a video, and you take a Ziploc bag or like a grocery bag, and you fill it up, and you put it in a pumpkin. Like it just will explode the pumpkin.
With
Oh yeah, it's scary. Like
Yeah.
acetylene,
Acetylene,
oxygen, any
acetylene.
fuel,
I know. It's,
terrifying.
It's
Like
awesome.
it's pretty
Electrolysis bubbles. Have you ever done
cool.
that?
Hydrogen with
Yeah, and you like bubble it in
Yep.
soapy water, and then you
Yeah.
light it, and then your ears
Yeah.
are just ringing because you don't
Yeah,
expect
the
it.
brown
Is
gas,
acetylene
yeah.
worse though?
Yep. Yeah.
Really?
Acetylene's more. There's more energy in it, right?
I think so.
Is it a bigger molecule?
Must be.
Must be. Hydrogen's pretty small, so I mean, yeah, it must have more.
I think they use hydrogen for rockets though, because it's like light. and
Yeah.
Through
Yeah.
some science, it works out to more thrust. It's smaller molecules.
No,
Yeah.
acetylene I think it's hard to store too because they have to store it in like acetone or something.
Yeah,
Really?
and you can only
Like-
have so much psi, like 15 psi.
Yeah.
Because it
You're
can
not
just
supposed to-
explode itself.
You can put the tanks sideways, but you have to like if you like you're not supposed to store the tanks sideways. Like if you lay them down, but if you do, you're not supposed to use them for like a while, like a couple days or something, to try to like get everything to like no liquid.
Oh yeah, because inside of the tank, it's
Weird.
like a filter, like a spongy material, so it
Yeah.
Oh,
has to have time to settle
yeah.
back down.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that the acetylene absorbs into the
into the
acetone or
material or
whatever it
whatever
is.
is like the sponge. Yeah.
yeah. Is it acetone? What is
I don't know.
inside?
I think it is. I've looked it up.
What is
Yeah.
inside? It's acetylene gas dissolved in acetone. Dude, that is a horrible flammable
Yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah, that's tough. That's dangerous.
That's crazy.
Scary.
It's just like who figured that out? It just makes so you can absorb more.
Wow.
What are you working on? Man, so many questions. Your giant tent. Jake just built a giant tent. I want to.
A giant tent.
I did.
Okay, so
It's
how did
like
we started off by making fun of Jake
Yes.
after he stole Peter's idea, and then
Was that the first video you saw of mine?
No, I've
No,
seen your videos
probably
for a
not.
while,
yeah.
off and on.
Yes.
And then
Cool.
oh yeah, and my coworker's son. You met him. I
Oh,
you
yeah,
met him. He's
yeah.
a fan of you. Then Alan made fun of you in a video,
Yes.
and then he met up with you,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And so Jake is renting this house
Yes.
in Los Angeles
I am.
and has just recently built a very big workshop.
Yeah. So our property is just very large. It's like almost an acre, which is like for LA, it's pretty unheard of. So
Wow.
Yeah.
to maximize the space a little bit, we've
It's not even
constructed-
expensive too, which is like the
I know.
worst part of the whole thing. Like it's really like so
crazy.
bizarre.
Yeah, we built like a large like tent portable structure workshop in the backyard.
So
So you've got like all your tools like.
So
in this-
it's like another. So we have like
wait,
the
wait,
garage.
I want to build the idea of this for Kevin.
Okay.
How big is the tent?
Sizable. It's large. It's large.
Is it big? How is it bigger than the house?
It's about the same size as the house.
So this is, I think I'm imagining when you go and buy a Christmas tree,
Yeah.
and on the side of the road they have a big tent full of Christmas trees, or like fireworks.
Yeah.
It's like that size
Probably, yeah. It's like
with
60
like the
60
straps,
feet.
like strapping it into the ground and like the
Yeah.
poles with the concrete.
Like a big arch tent,
How many square feet on the inside?
just under 2,000, probably.
That's bigger than my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same,
And garage.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
So
Oh
it's
my
like a
God.
secondary
Massive.
workshop. Yeah. So we're gonna
Is
use
that
it.
even
yeah.
legal?
There are zoning laws. I think it's like
It's not
a gray
permanent,
area.
right?
No, it's not permanent. That's the thing.
So that's fine, I think, right? If it like a non-permanent structure.
I mean, if someone tells us to take it down, we'll have to take it down, but we can do it. You know what I mean? So
Right. It's just it's like a car canopy, right?
yeah, basically, sure.
Those are fine.
Yeah,
Where
it's
do
just-
they draw
just
the
10.
line?
Yeah, it's a gray area probably, but point is we can like
Hey, if
do
nobody's,
bigger
how long have you
projects
had
there.
it for? If
Uh,
nobody's complained yet.
I mean, this is sort of relatively recent, like a couple of months, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
You're also the area you're at too. It's not like you don't. I feel like people are gonna be less likely to complain.
Yeah, I don't think anyone cares, and like our neighbors are pretty cool. The ones behind, like around us, don't seem to care. So as long as we keep the
Second
noise
house.
down. Yeah.
Michael and I rented a house, a different house. First we were living in Oxnard, and then we moved to Los
3630.
Angeles. And that neighborhood in Los Angeles, I feel like they would have been very upset at us.
Yeah.
They complained about everything. The neighbors
Yeah.
hated us. They hated
That's
each
another.
other.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So far, everyone's been really chill, like where we are, which is great. Perfect for what we're doing, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Jake. Well, thank you very much for coming
All
on
right.
to the. We do we do an extra after this. You don't have to do it. It could just be Kevin and I, unless you want to hang out more. We do
How long is
extra.
it?
How much time do you have?
I have to meet someone at about 6:30, so.
All right, you go do
probably
your
like
thing.
6:20. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Is
All
the
right.
podcast over now?
I think so. Is it really ever over? We'd
Just-
like to
just
thank the
keep
sponsor
running
of
into-
today's video,
Backyard Scientist T-shirts. Go.
Backyard Scientist
buy his
t-shirts. Yes,
t-shirts.
go
Yep.
and buy a Backyard Scientist t-shirt, please. God,
Please. Just do it.
please do it. Buy one of each. Buy two of each.
And then go to Cat Warehouse, and
Yes.
and then click out and buy more T-shirts from Backyard
and
Scientist.
DDoS it. Actually, don't DDoS it. Actually,
Oh.
no. I think that whatever web hosting probably protects against that.
Yeah, there's probably DDoS protection.
That's a call to action. First
That's
one
not
to
a
DDoS
challenge,
his
it's a
website gets a
threat.
free T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. We'll see everybody on Patreon.
All right.
Thanks, Jake. You can check
Yes.
out Jake.
Yes. Check me
Jay
out.
Laser.
Thank you. Woo.
Jake Laser.
It's a real
Is the
name.
channel Jake Laser or Jay Laser? It's Jake
Jay,
Laser, right?
Jay Laser or Jake
Jay
Laser.
Laser.
Either or.
How does it title? Is it actually
Jay
titled? What do you
Laser.
type in? It is Jay
Jay
Laser.
LS. Yeah. Yeah.